Hey YouTube, Mike that Tankless guy here. How we all doing today? I hope we all had a very happy and a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday to all. Alright, today I'm going over what they call either a thermal bypass valve or a bypass valve. That is the device. Now I'm showing you a Grungfos. That is the device that you would put underneath your farthest or most annoying fixture in your home. And it uses the piping within the house to circulate water around through the hot and cold. When it reaches this valve, there is a thermally activated piece in here that shuts down around 100 degrees. So what it does is it will move water from the hot into the cold. When it reaches that temperature, it actually closes, sends pressure back to the tankless, and shuts down. Now, the question that I get is either like, where do I put it? How do I install it? And can I put it on XY unit? Now, the XY unit I'm going to explain in a minute. All right, so the easiest thing when you're at a customer's house or your home, what is the fixture that gives you the most problem? Where you got to wait for the most water, or wait for water to get hot. Would it be the master bathroom all the way in the end? Would it be a mother-in-law, father-in-law suite, or the kitchen? That's where you're going to determine where you can put these. Now, on a Rinnai, you can only put one. But on a Navien, you could put two of their units, and I'm going to show you their units in a minute. So, the installation. The installation of one of these, or the NaviCirc, which, again, when I turn this prop around right here, you'll actually see. Underneath your sink, you're going to find hot on the left and cold on the right. Now, you've got to make sure that it's hot on the left, cold on the right, because when you're installing this or the NaviCirc one, you have to make sure that the hot is going in on the left and the cold is going in on the right on these bottom. And then these two go up to the faucet. So you're going to find two speedy valves, a hot and a cold. And then you have two speedies that go up to the faucet. Now, what you got to do is you have to install this unit in the middle. And what is it going to look like? That is what you're going to need right there. All right? So, again, the NaviCirc one is much bigger. You can remove it and pop out 4 screws here and 3 screws here and clean it. Where the Grungfos one, if you get dirt and debris, if you have a water main break outside, or you have a water main break, or you had the water shut down in the house, you have hard water, you get particulates that go through the piping and get into this thing you cannot clean. You can try to flush water through it. I've never had any success, but this one you can take apart and clean it. So, your hot water goes in, your cold water, then up to your faucet. That is going to be used on like a Rinnai, well, it used to be the RUR. I don't know what they're new. I mean, I help hundreds of people a week, and I'm in the blank with Rinnai, either giving me information, letting me look at this, so it's ridiculous, but it's their recirc unit. So it would be RCX, I don't know, I'm not sure of the number. But on a Navien, it's, let me see, do I have, yes I do. It would be the NPE model. And as you can see in the back, tells you that that is an option of a part, the NaviCirc. Now, Rinnai used to come with this. I'm not sure if they still do come with one. Again, I'm in the dark with that company. So, but on a Navien NPE, which is an A2, not an S2, because it does not have the pump in it. Now, my question, but from a lot of people, is on a condensing unit, so a unit without a pump, so Navien's S2 or Renai, which used to be on RU 199. I want to add a NaviCirc and then a pump on the cold water. No, you cannot do that. You cannot add this or this if the unit is not capable of reading it. So it has to be on a Navien and A2, because that A2 or the A designates the pump. 2 is the second series. Their older series was an NPE A or an NPE S. They just added the 2, meaning that it's the second generation. So if your unit does not have a pump in it, you cannot put one of these in. It will not work. There is no parts in there for it to read the thermal bypass valve. Now, let me show you, and then let me draw you an example. So, just quickly again, mounts to the wall. And it mounts where you see the hot on the left, the cold on the right, or in this case, if you notice that the back of this is flat, the front of this is rounded. This has to go, so say my face is the back of the cabinet, it has to go like that, okay? Also bear in mind that keep your screws away from the piping, because if you end up throwing a long screw in there, you'll go right through your pipe and you'll have a heartache. So, hot, cold, hot, cold. And that is your thermal bypass valve. You set the controller, you set the unit for, like with a Navien, you would set it for external circulation, and you'll have the NaviCirc because it does it through the piping within the building. All right, I'm moving this camera forward here. All right, so I'm going to draw this up for you. Let's see, blue and red. Okay, we'll go with blue. So you have your tankless heater. You have your cold water that comes in from the street. Then you have your hot water that comes out and goes to your fixtures. Okay, now this also goes through your fixtures. Whoop, that's red. Let's make it blue, sorry. This goes to your fixtures. Okay, so your water is coming in this way, goes into the tankless, comes through. Now, your cold water line will come down here and then come up and come to your last fixture. So you take your NaviCirc, there we go, I'll find the black one. You take your NaviCirc and then you interrupt into here and up to the faucet. And what it does is it circulates water through here. When this little bypass piece, the thermal bypass, closes, it sends the pressure back, and the tankless has stuff in there. It has things that reads the pressure and then shuts the pump down. And then it'll keep doing it as the thermal bypass valve opens and closes. So, if you do not have a pump, you have a regular unit without the pump inside of it. You have your cold water, then you have your hot water, okay, and then this cold water will go and start picking up your fixtures. Your hot water, start picking up your fixtures. Okay? But you have a return line that you can then come from the last fixture of the hot water back to the cold water, put a pump, you put a check valve, and then you put another check valve right here. And what that, oops, sorry, wrong place. Put a check valve right here. Because you don't want the water from the pump, you want it to go back to the tankless. You don't want it to go back out of the house. So the pump will pump this back in this way and go in. And then you want some type of like aquastat, or you can do it with a smart plug, or and have it set so it'll go on and off at a certain time. But with a unit without a pump, that is the only way you can get recirc. And most of the time, the people that have purchased a unit without a pump did it as a mistake, and now they're looking to put a thermal bypass valve in, but you can't. It will not work. The only way it'll work with a unit without a pump is if you have a dedicated return line. Now, with a Navien unit, with an NPE A2, you have a cold water line, a hot water line, and a third one, which is for recirc. So your cold water will come in, go to the tankless, and then go to your fixtures. And I'm losing the color of my blue. Let me try to get another color here. Come on. That's purple. And that doesn't even work either. I guess we're gonna have to go with green. Maybe green will work. So your cold water will then come up to your fixtures. Then your hot water will come and go to your fixtures. Now your return line on a Navien will actually go up into that center port. You don't need any check valves. You don't need nothing special. All you need to do is to add another valve kit right there. So it will be 3 valve kits. Because you can actually use with a Navien, which would be an NPE and then A2. So it's like a 160, a 180, a 210, or a 240. A2. And then that has a third pipe that you can actually then hook up that dedicated return line. And when you go to service it, you can actually set this to go into service mode and circulate the fluid through by hooking it to the center pipe, which is the return, and the hot, setting it for 30, 60, 90 minutes, and you don't need, all you need is a bucket, 2 hoses, and solution. That's it. So, if anybody needs this, I have it on a drawing that I could send you, but this would be the only way that you can put a return on a unit that does not have a pump in it. So you, again, you cannot add one of those Navicircs or a thermal bypass valve to a unit that does not have the pump in it. You can only run a dedicated return line, put a pump, put an aquastat, or you could put one of those smart, or Alexa, turn my pump on. It turns the outlet on, it turns the pump on. It'll circulate water, you go in, or whoever goes into the shower, you get hot water pretty fast, Bob's your uncle. All right, YouTube? All right, I hope this answers a lot of the questions because I get this a lot. And unfortunately, without the pump in the unit, you cannot put a thermal bypass valve in. Alrighty? Alrighty. I won't be seeing you till next year. Alrighty. I'd like to wish everybody and their families a very happy and healthy new year. And again, thank you for all of the subscribes, the likes, the comments, the questions. Keep them coming. Again, I do consulting. Email me and I'll let you know how much it would be. And I can lay the whole job out or help you with the whole job. We're on Patreon. And again, thank you and have a very happy and healthy new year. I'll see you next year. Take care now. Bye-bye.